One of the things we touched on a little bit, I wanted to ask more about, was the really having to show restraint on this story because it's so emotionally charged. Yet, the couple were very, very simple.
Yeah, I think in many ways, you know, the best heroes are the ones that we can really relate to. I mean, we all need revolutionaries to kick down the doors, but who are the people that we kind of see ourselves in?
Yeah.
And Richard and Mildred, were unwilling to sort of be at the center of this debate, and yet they found themselves in that. But along the way, I think Richard really didn't understand how he could have been put in this situation. He didn't understand why he felt like something was wrong, but he didn't have really the words, I think, to articulate and to debate on an equal footing with people that he thought, because they were from the city and they wore suits, that they were more intelligent and more entitled than he was. So the restraint of that says a lot about how injustice breeds silence and sadly teaches people to shut their mouths and just cope.
How important do you think this story is right now in the climate that we're in, with so much hatred and disgust that we see in media, and now we've got this story to remind us that this is still going on?
Yeah, and look, actors are often the worst political activists or spokespeople. And sadly, too many people care to hear what we have to say. So I'm very careful about what I do say. But I do, like Richard, feel like there's so much that's wrong. And on a personal level, I think people's judgments are bred out of places that need to be activated at an educational level, a very elementary level, because children don't own those opinions of otherness, value judgments, like grown-ups do. But on a political level and on a social political level, I think there's really not truthfully equality with everybody, and there's privilege and there's lack of privilege, and oftentimes, if you really look at the general groups that sit on one side of the fence and the other, there's also a correlation with skin colour, and I think that on a government social level there really is inequality for everybody.
My kids are biracial, and I was telling my daughter about this because in her social studies class she's studying all sorts of things about civil rights, and I was telling her about this story and she was really interested in it. In a weird way, I think that this is a movie that kids should see.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, I think they should see it. I mean, I think everybody in America and around the world, but particularly in America, should know who Richard and Mildred are. They should watch the struggle they went through only 50 years ago, and empathise with that, and look at the space around them and in their neighbourhood about where situations occur where people are judged, that values are placed on people's race and religion and gender, whatever it is. And it's a gentle and silent and very hopeful story, and yet at the underbelly of it is a very disturbing psychological scenario that continues on today in terms of the way people are held down and prevented from having freedom.
Joel, I always love talking to you. Good to see you again.
You too, man.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.